Howdy and welcome. I'm Mike, your board gaming every dude, and we're going to be doing an unboxing of Nemesis Lockdown. I know it's the old Nemesis up here, but here's the reason. First, I want to give you a quick rundown of how this Kickstarter that led to Nemesis Lockdown happened. First of all, what on earth is Nemesis Lockdown? Well, it all started with this game, Nemesis, which is like a survival horror, space-themed game where you wake up on a ship and there's creatures trying to kill you. You're trying to survive, complete mission objectives, and get off that ship. It comes in two different modes. Semi-cooperative, which is a multiplayer only, and in that mode you are working together to survive, but you also have secret objectives that may actually end up sabotaging each other. So you got some secret mechanics. Then there's the fully cooperative and solo mode, and that's where you're all working together to survive, or if you're playing solo, you're just trying to survive. And what's nice, if you're playing the solo, you can control just one character board, which isn't true of a lot of cooperative games. A lot of cooperative games you need to control two different characters and you just go back and forth. In this one, you can choose just one. It can get a little lonely, so sometimes it is fun to control more than one player board, but I love that there's the option. As after playing Unsettled, which I enjoyed, I'm a little burnt out on controlling two player boards. I don't know that I ever want to go back to it. Cool, so that's Nemesis, all right? So that came out. You can still get this retail. Last I checked, it was in game stores. That's where I got it. It's an expensive game. You're looking at $100 here. But fantastic experience, one of my favorites. All right, so then came a Kickstarter for, let's get this out of the way. Oh, my gravy. Oh, all right, build muscles. So then came the Kickstarter for the Lockdown expansion. And that takes us to an expansion sequel that is standalone. That's right, you don't need Nemesis, the original game, for that expansion. However, it came with a lot of other goodies. All right, so there was a Kickstarter a couple years ago for Lockdown, and we find out this takes place on the surface of Mars after the events of the original. So the ship, you know, you've survived or not survived, and now there's this infestation at a space colony on the surface of Mars with all new kinds of cool mechanics where you now have power turning on and off, and you've got these new alien creatures that attack you worse in the dark than in the light, and you've got power going on and off, and it's just fantastic. It looks super cool. I've tried it out on Tabletop Simulator. You can try it out on Tabletop Simulator for free as well through Steam. All right, but anyway, the Kickstarter for Lockdown. If you backed it, it came up with all kinds of goodies that came in two different waves. This is not normal for Kickstarters. And if you're new to understanding what Kickstarter is, very briefly, it's a way that smaller projects are able to get funded to get out to consumers. However, for board games, it's become more than that. Large publishers use it as well to build excitement and hype. And a lot of that excitement and hype comes through something called stretch goals. So if you go to Kickstarter and you go, say, to Nemesis Lockdown, which is closed now, so you can't, but let's say it was back then, and you went to back it, then you would see, okay, you get the game Lockdown if it's fully funded. So they set a goal for $50,000, it's met, everybody that backed it gets a copy. If it's a big success, it'll also go to retail. Sometimes it doesn't. Lockdown, I expect, will fully go to retail. There's no reason not to expect that. I don't know the date yet, or if it's out in retail yet. I know I just got my copy. All right. With that Kickstarter, though, like I said, it came in. First came expansions that were dependent on Nemesis. Then in the second wave that would be released a year later came, or roughly a year later, maybe it was 6 months, 9 months, I think it was a year because of COVID and all that, with Lockdown and expansions that are dependent on Lockdown. So part of it, if you backed it, you could get Nemesis Void Seeders expansion. So you could just select this one, and this one was super cool. This is available in retail now. I actually got this from a game store in Chillicothe, Ohio. There's only one shelf or one whatever cabinet with like 4 or 5 shelves of board games, and this was one of them. So that was fantastic, but it's super cool because this introduces a new type of alien intruder that's attacking you and stalking you through the halls of the Nemesis ship. And these ones, the cool thing is, the nests are really the only thing that are real. Everything else is they're just causing confusion. They're making you see and hear things, so you start going insane and you're a danger to yourself and others. So this was a super cool mechanic. Really enjoyed it. But you can get this one retail if you didn't back the Kickstarter for Lockdown. Then came another expansion with it called Carnivores, which I don't have. I bought it and it's just too gruesome for me. These push it as far as I am comfortable because I can water it down a little. The Carnivores one was just too gruesome. So yeah, feel free to look that one up. But that you can also get in retail, and it's just also another set of alien intruders that have their own unique mechanics where they grow stronger and stronger as the game progresses. So you want to finish like as early as possible. All right, so those were part of the first wave. They require the base game Nemesis. But there was more with that first wave. They also had an extra character called the Medic, and we're going to unbox this because it's new to me. So Medic is a new character, and we've got, I don't know actually what these cards are. We'll find out. I have cards. But another part was the Untold Stories expansion, all right? And it came in two parts, Untold Stories 1 and Untold Stories number 2. Unlike the Void Seeder and Carnomorph, these were not going to be going to retail. So the only way to get these was through backing Kickstarter or now getting them in the second-hand market. I'm very disappointed in that. But anyway, I have them and they're new to me. So we have Untold Stories 1. We'll take a quick look at it. And we have Untold Stories 2. These introduce a campaign mode. The first one being a solo campaign, and the second one is semi-cooperative. So you can't play the second one solo, but I'm going to see if I can break it and do that for you. But anyway, Nemesis, as you know, is not a campaign game. Each time you play, you create one cinematic story and then it's closed. This changes it. Super excited about that. The other thing that came part of the first wave, if you backed Lockdown, was the Aftermath expansion. And this also did not go to retail. This was Kickstarter only, and you can only get it now from secondhand, or if you check places like the Game Steward, that's how I got these. They may still have copies, but you'd probably have to get on it fast or look secondhand. But anyway, this is what I wanted most, because this adds an epilogue mode to the game of Nemesis. So you play a whole game of Nemesis, and then you leave the board exactly as it finished with whatever happened, surviving or not, and you continue with a shuttle that arrives with 5 new characters, I believe it's 5, that then disembark. They come onto the ship, and now they have to deal with whatever mess you left behind. So every time you play, this epilogue will be different. But if you don't want to have that long of a game where you play Nemesis and then this, it also does have a standalone way that you can play. And this is interchangeable with Void Seeders and Carnivores, just like the Medic is interchangeable with any of these games. All right, so that was Wave 1 that came, and we're going to look more in depth at these here. Then came Wave 2, and again, this is all from one Kickstarter backing. That's why I'm trying to break this down, because for me, I was so confused. And I was looking for Aftermath at stores because I didn't understand. And I want you to understand what you can find at stores and what you can't. So, part of the second wave, which just started getting pushed out this month, I believe, because I know others got it a little bit before me. But, with that came the big one, Nemesis Lockdown. So this is a standalone expansion, all right? It's its own game, and that, to the best of my knowledge, is coming to retail. We're going to unbox it, so you will be able to get your hands on that. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But you could also get the Kickstarter exclusives, the stretch goals, that, to my knowledge to this point, will not be going to retail. One of those is Nemesis Lockdown Untold Stories number 3. Super cool. And this can be played solo. It also has a cooperative, just like Untold Stories 1. So I'm super excited. This is the campaign mode for Nemesis Lockdown. Can't wait to see that. It also comes with, and this is Kickstarter exclusive, to my knowledge, this expansion, so you won't be able to get it retail, just secondhand. And this is the, what are these called? Cryptids, what are they? Chytrids. All right, so it's a new alien, a new intruder type that's going to be playable with either the Lockdown game or the Nemesis game. And it's like a type of mold. It's a totally new type of thing. It's a plant life type alien that's taking over. So that looks super cool. And then, of course, just some pieces that we're going to look at. There we go. So, quick summary. If you want to buy Nemesis, the base game, you can buy it at a store. You can buy Void Seeders at a store. You can buy Carnomorphs at a store. You can get Untold Stories 1, 2, and 3 secondhand, or a place like the Game Steward that sells Kickstarter exclusive items as they have them in stock. I got all of this through Game Steward since I missed the Kickstarter because I didn't understand how the whole thing works. Anyway, I hope this helps you and spares you some of the confusion I got, because sometimes I ask questions, and I've seen others ask questions about a Kickstarter exclusive, and sometimes there's helpful remarks, and sometimes someone will say something like, you know, read the terms, that's how Kickstarter works. And it's like, look, some of us are new, and that is super not welcoming or helpful, so I hope this is welcoming and helpful in some way. All right, let's open the, oh yeah, so Medic that I'm aware of is secondhand only, and same with the, I always want to call them cryptids, Chytrids. That is also going to be available secondhand or Game Steward, or if there's another company that does that, only. Check out Noble Knight Games as well, as they have some, I believe it's Noble Knight. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Noble Knight. Anyway, they have some cool secondhand stuff. Let's open these babies up. All right, so we have here with Lockdown, we have just some pop-outs, and I just want to show you the quality is good. We're not going to pop them all out. All right, so just lots of little pieces, good quality, 2 sheets of it right here. We'll pop them all out later. We've got our game manual for the expansion. So before we open the expansion, let's open up the base game of Lockdown. Big box. Created by Adam Kwapinski, who made the original Nemesis. And again, try this on Tabletop Simulator that I'm aware of. It's still available for free if you just want to see whether you like it. It's a pricey game. You're looking at over $100. I don't know how much over. I'm thinking 100, 120. I could be wrong. Game manual. And they have a nice feature in the game manual. If you have already learned how to play Nemesis, they do have some coding to let you know what rules are new and what you don't need to review if you already know Nemesis, as it is based on the same system, just a few new or twisted mechanics. All right? Here's the instruction booklet. And then you have your laboratory board, which is brand new for Lockdown. You didn't have a board like this in Nemesis. Although in Nemesis you have the nest, I'm not sure if this has a nest or if the laboratory replaces it. I don't know. As well as little corpse tokens when the intruders cease to be, but good quality. Nice and thick, and they pop out easily, which I appreciate. I had bought Grand Austria Hotel, and I was irritated because as I popped them out, they weren't cut very well, and honestly, the components in that game are cheap, frankly. I love the game, but cheap. But anyway, they wouldn't tear even, so parts of the token will have tears on it, and that's just so disappointing. So these are fantastic. I love it. And a rooms cheat sheet, since the board is made up of a bunch of different rooms, and they all have different functions, different events that happen in that room. So this is a handy little thing, and a rules summary. You'll see it's a lot of rules summary, so there is some learning to this game, but it does pay off. All right. Oh boy, the board. So this is a 2-sided board, just like Nemesis, where Nemesis had the base side of the game, and then it had the more challenging side. Well, this one does it a slightly different way. Let's see if I can make it fit, to where there is the space board where you are in the Mars colony. Yes, this is the one. I believe, is that the surface? Or is this the first side? This is the second side. Okay, so this is the first side. It's kind of dark. It's kind of dark and hard to see, but you'll see a lot of rooms. And the first side composes of 3 different floors, and you actually have to ride an elevator or take stairs up and down, and that matters because it's actually really dangerous. You can get trapped and attacked very easily. There are different power stations to turn power on the different floors, and then there's the surface of Mars at the top, which provides part of a way to escape. It gets changed up if you flip the board over. Then I think there are still, there's still 3 floors, but half of the board, the top half here, takes place on the surface of Mars. So that totally changes up the game, and I don't know how yet, but I know it's harder. So there you go, beautiful board, great quality. I know when I watched the development during the Kickstarter, even though I missed it, they had initially had some issues and they weren't happy with the quality of the board, so they had to delay the Kickstarter to get the better board, and thank goodness they did, because it looks great. Alrighty. Then we have a lot of pieces, and don't worry, I am not going to punch these all out for you, but I will pop it open. All that fantastic plastic. There we go. Okay. Dump it on the ground where you can't see it. Fantastic. So we have our character boards. You can see the character board. And we've got a sentry and a hacker. So Lockdown comes with a whole new set of characters. I believe there were 6 characters in Nemesis. Forgive me, I'm always forgetting if it's 5 or 6. I believe it's, I'm not going to bother looking. We'll find out how many are in this. Anyways, 5 or 6 new ones. We've got the sentry, the hacker. We've got the lab rat, who I believe is actually a survivor from the original Nemesis game. Can't verify for sure, but I'm pretty sure. The xenobiologist, member of the colony, the survivor. Now the survivor is definitely from Nemesis, so there is some loose carryover, but each game again is its own unique cinematic experience. And we've got these little tokens here that have to do with how you can survive, and in every game it's different. There are different ways to survive, because in Lockdown you don't just have the intruders, I believe they're called night stalkers, coming after you. You also have like this corporate team, this cleanup team coming, and they might be coming to rescue you, or they might be coming to eliminate you. You don't know, so you got to hide in different places depending on what's happening. It just looks like amazing chaos. And these are for the tokens to develop your bag with the night stalkers. And then of course our room tiles. Those are your room tiles. Won't pop them all out, nice and thick. I'm loving the quality of the board. And this is new. See, in the Nemesis game, there were not dials like this. So I don't know what these are going to be used for, but that's kind of exciting. I have no idea. That's a new mechanic. As well as the launch, the CSS life pod or something. They're these little life pods that you can use to escape the surface and hopefully survive. And then you got a little rover. That's a totally new thing to go around on the surface if you escape from the facility, as well as eggs for the intruders, the night stalkers. They're all called intruders, just different style ones. Yeah, the dials are totally new, as well as your elevator. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. We got our elevator going up and down. I like the size. And we've got, of course, our doors that all stand up. And something here, I have no idea what this is. I don't have a clue. No idea. So that will be exciting to learn. And then we've got our secret reader. You just slide in to find out if you're infected. So you get infected cards, and you slide it in here, and it decodes and tell you whether you're infected or not. If you're infected, then there's a whole series of things you got to deal with. It doesn't immediately kill you. It's something that can kill you, but you can work with it. In our token bag for putting our little tokens and drawing, some nice extra plastic bags. I'm always happy to have that. Goodbye, silica gel. Go away. There we go. All right, so we've got that. We've got then some of our pieces, and I won't take them all out, These are your little wound tokens, little red jewels. Maybe I'll at least pop them in the tray. Where are you at? There you at. Just so you can hear them. Little red jewels usually serve as wound markers. Usually a bad thing. Goodbye. This is kind of fun. All right. And then you've got your standee bases. Right there. Plenty of standee bases. And I don't need to show you these. Those must connect the little spinny. Yeah, we're calling them spinnies. More spinnies. And then these are your markers. So you use these to mark different statuses. In the first game, Nemesis, you used it to note if you sent off a signal or have slime. I have no idea what they'll be used for in this game. And this game also introduces new dice that Nemesis didn't have. You've got these blue ones, brand new. Have no idea what those do. The black ones we had. The red ones tell you whether you hit the alien or not when you attack. And the blue and the orange, totally new. Wait, no. This must be your noise marker. And no, these are your noise rollers. I don't know what the orange is. Who knows? Anyway, these are your noise markers. So as you go around on lockdown, as you walk around through the facility and the surface, you hear noise or make noise, however you want to interpret it. And that can draw the attention of the intruders, or you hear the intruders. And then we have, of course, fire. In the original Nemesis, the ship would catch fire in different spots, and if enough places caught fire, then the whole thing exploded. So it must be similar in Lockdown, as well as the broken tokens. So these, in the original Nemesis, indicate that a room is broken. If enough of the ship stops functioning, then it blows up. So there must be something similar in Lockdown on the surface. No, I want that bag. You get back here. Oh my goodness, just throwing stuff away. Crazy person. And then, of course, I do appreciate when games have colored standees so that it's a little easier to tell who your character is. So just hook that onto the base of your character and you know who you are. I appreciate that. Okay, next. Get out of here. Why are you still hanging out here like I know you? Oh my goodness. I don't know you. Go away. All right. And then I will show you just one each. Now this is a card holder. So you just put your cards, your item cards and your action cards right in there. And then you have your Night Stalkers. So this must be like an intermediate Night Stalker. That's cool. I actually like these a lot more than the intruders because they're not gross. They're just scary. They're stalking you. All right, that's awesome. And then we've got a slightly bigger Night Stalker without wings. He's like creeping on the ground. That is really cool. Pretty sweet. I'll just line him up here actually. Go. And then we have our larva or baby, in this case, little tiny larva Night Stalker. Pretty sweet. I was too lazy to set up the overhead camera. Forgive me. All right, then we've got our characters here. I'll put out each character model. That looks like the survivor. This looks like, where's the lab rat? Where are you at, lab rat? You're the survivor. You're the janitor. I'm going to assume that's the janitor. I'm going to assume that you are somebody else. You're not the xenobiologist. Here's the xenobiologist. Here's somebody else. Here's, that dude's creepy. Somebody else. So this must be the lab rat, and she is out, man. She is out and she's coming to get you. All right, so that's all of those minis, and I'll just leave them right there. And then we've got our decks of cards, and I'm not actually going to open all these, but you've got your action cards, nice and thick, usually 10 per character if it's the same as Nemesis. Lovely artwork, lovely artwork. And you've just got some more action cards, lovely artwork. We have our objective cards right here, as well as some more, it's got to be more action cards. But these are the objectives. They're either semi-cooperative or cooperative solo. Pretty cool. So you have different ones drawn randomly each game, as well as your wounds. And it looks like your helper cards are in this stack as well. And then event cards, because during every turn there's an event phase where something horrible happens. And if you're in darkness in general, if I understand it correctly, it's even worse. Fantastic. So look at all these cards. Just for time's sake, I'm not going to take you through all of them. Then, of course, your Night Stalker weaknesses and your item cards. So you can gather items and build items to make cool things like flamethrowers and stuff like that. At least you could in Nemesis. I don't know what they'll be in this. You can make medicine to heal yourself. And the Night Stalker weaknesses, in Nemesis, you could collect information about the intruders, find a weakness, and it makes it easier to survive or beat them. And so I'm assuming using the laboratory it will be the same kind of deal, where you will find their weaknesses and be able to defeat them easier. And then we have more items here, crafted items and all kinds of other items. Now, I must be missing, I'm looking for the other character boards. I'm not sure where they are. They might be in the, maybe they're in the stretch goals box, or maybe I missed them. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm pretty sure I only showed you 2. So we'll have to find those. All right. Then we've got more big Night Stalkers. So we've got this dude here. He's super tall. Now, I'm not a huge miniatures guy, and honestly, sometimes I think these are a little too big, but people love them, and so that's, that's fine. I like the size of the people, I really do. So I guess this shows the size of them relative to the person, but they can take up a lot of space on the board. All right, then we got this scary dude. Oh my goodness. So I know there's something like larvas, and then intermediate, I don't know what they're called, and then you've got adults, and they are just straight up dangerous. Yep, and we've got another, is that another type of adult? No, that's the same one. You've already seen that. Then we've got breeders. I'm pretty sure they're called breeders still. You got a breeder right there. Real scary dude. And then, of course, you only have 2 breeders, and you have the queen. There we go. Scary queen right there. Big, gigantic, like snaky kind of queen. All right, cool. Let's clear these out and take a look at what else we got here. And I will find those character boards. I know I've seen them. Maybe I left it. I'm going to look. Bear with me. Enjoy the moment. Go grab a tea. Or don't. It's okay. You don't have to do anything. 1 laboratory board. 1 instruction booklet. Cardboard thingies. It's always good. And player board. Always good. Character boards. 1, 2. Okay. Verify. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's 4 character boards. 5, 6. All right, so I did 6, and now I remember going through all of them with you. It's awesome. I love the way my memory works. I love it. Okay, go home. I didn't ask you to be here. Oh my goodness. I'm talking to the game, not you. That would be rude. All right, so let's go into the lockdown stretch goals. All right, so we've got Untold Stories 3, and it has some beautiful artwork inside. It has the general rules on how to go through this. I'm calling it a campaign. Yes, this campaign was created for a cooperative mode. It can be played at any number of players from 1 to 5, but note that it's especially challenging for a true solo player. So that would be controlling only 1 character as opposed to 2, I'm assuming. And you can see it's got some beautiful comic style artwork to drive the story along, as well as breaks for the mission. So really looking forward to playing through that. Give me a like if you would like to see more of that, or let me know in the comments specifically. I'd like to try one out, and if y'all like it, then I'll be glad to play through a whole campaign. I have no problem with that. It just depends on what y'all want to see, right? Okay, so goodbye, Untold Stories. That was fun. And now the cryptids, which are actually called something entirely different. Fine by me. All right, cool. So we've got a laboratory that allows us to play Lockdown with the Carnomorphs or the Void Seeder expansion. So that's what this board is. It lets us include previous expansions with this new board, and egg tokens and alien tokens, all kinds of stuff. Then we have a laboratory for the brand new Chytrid board. There's the Chytrids, as well as some cool laboratory stuff that I don't know how to use yet, but this is totally different. This must be unique to Chytrids. Some kind of dial counter, I don't know. Some more baggies, and these must be the Chytrids. Goodbye, silicone. Chytrids. These are green things, so that must have to do like, that must be like the eggs for, I don't know, but it's pretty cool. I like it, but it has to do with the alien things. There you go. So there's your Chytrids, and we have some more items specific to this expansion. Some more new action cards, that's pretty cool, and some character draft and some terrible event cards, not cool with those, as well as some attack cards, which were in the Lockdown box as well, but I didn't get to point them out, and those let us know what the intruder's attack is. Now we get some party. Don't go in my ear, that's rude. All right, then we have some kind of deluxeified components that only come from the Kickstarter. All right, so we've got deluxe doors. So they stand up like this. So that is pretty cool. And the cool thing is when they get destroyed, you do that, and you actually have a broken door. So that is clever. I had no idea when I got this that this came with those, honestly. So that's a nice bonus surprise. Go back in the hole. Thank you. All right, so there's like a lot of those. Plenty. Oh my goodness. And then there are these little, it's like ring pops. Only I don't think it's supposed to be a good thing. I have no idea what these are. I have no clue. They must have to do with the Chytrids. Chytrids. Gotta work on that. Chytrids. And then we've got a rover instead of the cardboard one. I've got a little miniature rover. Pretty cool. And then I've got a, ooh, this is neat. So a giant door. And this giant door doesn't break. All right. I like that. Then we've got, I'm going to save my favorite for last, but this looks like a king Chytrid. This must be a king Chytrid. Chytrid. King Chytrid. And then we've, oh, a queen Chytrid, excuse me. That's a queen. And this must be like a baby Chytrid right there. Or not a baby. These are like the intermediate tentacles. And then you've got another intermediate Chytrid. And then we've got 3 adults. And I'm just guessing here, but that looks like an adult to me, growing around a door frame, it looks like. And then we've got, I'm going to call these larvae. I don't know for sure, but there's some green ones, and then there's some purple ones as well. And I have no idea whatsoever what the difference is. But there's purple and there's green. So there's that. And then there's the, I'm assuming this is the 1-player token, and I really wanted this. It's a cat. It's a cat in a space suit, which just makes me very happy. You can do that all day. And I'm not going to try to get these all back how they belong. I'm just going to go like this and keep y'all moving. All right, cool. So that is what is in the Chytrids. The Chytrids stretch goals. Oh my goodness, be careful. It's precious. All right, now we've got this deck of cards, and I don't know what it came with, but looking at it, this looks like Nemesis. Maybe it came with promo cards. I don't know. But let's see. We've got Wildfire. It looks like, oh, you know what? I'll bet you this has to do with the Untold Stories. Yes, draw another comic event card. So these must be for the Untold Stories, some special events that happen in that story. I'll take it. That's pretty cool. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. Don't leave me. Don't leave me by myself talking to myself. That's weird. It's not weird, actually. However, it can be a sign of dissociation if you talk to yourself out loud to certain degrees, which I do. Oh well, I'm afraid of cutting. So this is the Medic expansion, and it comes in military-grade plastic. Civilians can't buy it. That's right. And we have our character board. Pretty cool. So there's the Medic right there. I'm looking forward to seeing how she plays. And then we've got right here, there we go. Got our Medic standee. She's got a cool little coat there. Very cool. As well as her, it looks like a special item deck just for her. Needle gun and a surgery kit. Her character draft card and her character action cards as well. Again, I'm assuming there's 10. But that is exciting, and farewell. Super cool. So that only leaves the Untold Stories and Aftermath to check out. And y'all stay there. Oh my goodness. Being dramatic. Being dramatic. This is going to be fun to clean up. Okay, Nemesis Untold Stories #1. So this has the solo, and this is the beginning of the story. Again, it has beautiful comic, well, there's instructions. Beautiful comic and a big black page. Beautiful, seriously, give me 2 pages of comics. Thank you. Beautiful comics throughout. Very much looking forward to that. Nice size, nice and long. Look at all that. And then Untold Stories #2, which does not come with a solo cooperative mode. It is semi-co-op, but again, maybe I can break it. Maybe. We'll see. And then the game manual for Nemesis Lockdown Chitrids for special stuff with all the, you know, big giant moss thingies, which actually look pretty cool. I like the moss thingies and the Night Stalkers. The Carnomorphs are the only ones I haven't liked so far. Okay, there you go, Chitrids box. So now it's just Aftermath, which is actually, I was most excited about Aftermath and the Untold Stories, honestly. So I'm really disappointed that they didn't decide to take those to market. I don't understand that. Don't understand it at all. All right, instruction. Boom, 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 boom. Cool. New characters. We have a convict. Ooh, he looks scary. And stuff to pop out. We have the CEO, and he comes with an android, I believe. And then we have the psychologist. Yeah, no, the CEO and the android. And, I mean, they're different characters, but I think they come together. Maybe they don't. He has like a robot helper. That's what it is. And then you got the android. You've got the bounty hunter. And the one I'm most excited about, the psychologist. So a whole new crew comes onto the Nemesis after the events that you play. And this is their ship that you add on to the Nemesis board. And then not a whole lot to go through here. Stay with me, stay with me. Don't give up. Goodbye. Is there something on the Zoom? No. All right, item cards right here. Super cool. New crafted items, robot stuff, looks fun. And just because the developers are cruel and unusual, they decided that the tension wasn't enough, and you can actually use this timer while playing to add stress to the game and have some kind of negative effect that adds noise when the timer runs out. It looks really stressful. I don't think I'll be doing it, but you know, it's there. Action cards. Nice big deck. And more lucrative offer, so that's new. So that must be like objectives or goals, as well as character cards. All right, there's a bunch of cards. I get it. And then we have our miniatures, of course. We have our person here. You must be the psychologist. You are definitely the CEO with the cane and his robot buddy. And then you are our bounty hunter for sure. And then you are our prisoner, because he's still got his shackles on. And he just looks straight up scary. And then she looks so cool. The android. Maybe this is the android. You know, it's sad when you can't tell the android from the psychologist. I think that's the android, and that's the psychologist. I don't know. And there's a dog. I think the dog goes with the bounty hunter, but that's pretty awesome. There are turrets in this as well. And then, of course, this is my favorite first player token, the cat. Adorable little cat in a spacesuit. That actually has to do with the story. Nothing underneath. Let me tell you all, thank you so much for staying with me. Check out this next video. I've got something very cool waiting for you. I love you all. See you next time.